Hey guys, so I want to kind of make a video about money and business lessons that I've learned that I think they're conceptual ideas that will be the difference between someone making $6,000 a year and someone making $200,000 a year, right? And most people, like, they might be, whether you're making 80 grand, 100 grand, 120 grand a year in your corporate job, most people when they start a business, they start really thinking like people that are unsuccessful. I know that sounds so weird. It's like, wait, but if I'm successful here, why would I not be thinking like a successful person there? Because the ways that you go about making money and the ways that you go about running a business are in a lot of cases counterintuitive to a lot of people. So I'll give you an example. And a lot of this stuff comes from either experiences from me, because I started my accounting firm back in 2015. I've also, sold art sculptures for, tens of thousands of dollars. Just a lot of different like business ventures that I've done over the years, and there were some that were successes, some that were failures, and I learned a lot from every single thing. So this is kind of one thing. So I'll tell you in the art world. So in the art world, there are people that sell high ticket and people that sell low ticket. And there's a fallacy where it's like, okay, so if I have like, this thing, I'm going to sell it for $200, a piece, and, I have 10 of them, I'm going to sell all 10 of them, I'll make $2,000. And I'm like, a lot of stuff has to go right in order for you to do that, right? You have to sell, not just sell 10, but what if you sell 8? What if you sell 5? What if you sell 4? What if the show gets canceled? What if there's a snowstorm during that thing? Like, there's so many different things that are going to make it hard for you to actually reach that $2,000 goal. Versus, what if you just have 3, but each of those 3 one can sell for $1,000, one can sell for $5,000, one can sell for $4,000. Which do you think has the higher likelihood of hitting a $2,000 goal? It's the smaller number but higher price point, because you only need to have a small number of sales in order to make it. It's the same thing with accounting and bookkeeping. Like, you'd be so surprised. Like I've heard people where they're making 120 grand a year in corporate, and like, yeah, so I'm just gonna like sell bookkeeping services for like $100 a month, $150 a month. I'm gonna get this huge volume of people. It's like, that doesn't really work out in like the real life. In theory, it works out. It's like, who's gonna say no to $150 a month bookkeeping services? Okay. How many consultation calls can you get in a month? Most people in their first 3 months of their business, they're probably only going to get anywhere between 2 to 5 consultation calls, period. That's whether they go in like cold call, that's whether they go in like to a networking event. You're not going to get that many opportunities. So yes, you might have, let's say there's 5 people that you meet and want to do a consultation call. Yes, you might go 5 out of 5, but that's only $500 a month. Versus if you're like, okay, so I'm going to charge a little more, I'm going to charge $500 to $1,000 a month, right? You might only get out of those 5. Let's say you get 3 out of those 5, but you're making $3,000 a month very, very easily, right? So it's like it's 6 times the amount of money for the same amount of work. In actuality, it's about the same amount of work, if not less, of just like selling the client. Now, it's another thing. People that generally make more money in business, we think in terms of selling stuff that is going to hit a minimum criteria. So for me, for example, in order for me to sell something, I need to make at least $5,000 over a calendar year from whatever I just sold. And even then, that's small compared to a lot of other types of companies. Like if someone is selling, let's say they're selling like airplanes, that's very small. But for me, in order to like be in the mid 6-figure range, and like between like 250 to 300K per business, right? It needs to be within that number. If your goal is to like hit maybe about $1 million a year, probably about 10,000, 20,000 is kind of your number that you just stick. But if you're just comfortable with like mid 6 figures, really about $5,000 to $6,000, kind of that minimum spot you need to be at per sale. Okay, that way you don't need 1 million sales to go hit that goal. And either way, it's just easier. It's just a lot. If I can say that, it's just a lot easier to reach your goals. So you have to minimum hit at least 6 grand. So that means your minimum price point is going to be about $450. Like 450 times 12 is about $5,000, right? So that's the minimum entry point. Now, another thing that people do, like that they really struggle with, is like just really understanding that the price point you charge is not really a reflection of you. It's a reflection of the work and what is the outcome that the person is going to get. So I'll give you an example. Let's say that you're helping a company that makes about $1 million per year. If you can get them a 10% return on something, that's $100,000 they just made. Versus if you're working with someone that's doing like $100,000 a year, if you give them a 10% return, it's only $10,000. Yes, proportionally it's the same, but absolute value-wise, it's a lot less, right? So you can't charge quite as much for a $10,000 return as what you could for if you get someone a $100,000 return. So in addition to selling a package at that minimum price point, also choosing who we're going to serve and who we're going to go after is also very important, because not every company can pay you $6,000. Every company can pay you, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month. So you have to be able to not only have a good sized package, but also understand who are we going after. And if someone tells us no, that our price is too much, that's not a reflection of us. It's just a reflection of they don't think that the percentage gain they're going to get from working with you is going to be meaningful enough to pay that price point. Okay? So it's not about you. It's not about you. Now, if you can get them to understand and to see how working with you is going to get them that return that makes the amount you're asking for worth it, then that's just a measurement of sales skills, right? And we can teach you sales skills in our mentorship program. We can teach you all this stuff, like how to think, how to know if someone's going to accept your price, how to get the right price, how to charge, how to build your mentality up so you can offer packages. Like, how do you tell someone that your package is $50,000 for a cleanup? If you don't have the right mental trainings or emotional trainings, you're not going to be able to do that, right? That's why a mentorship program really helps. And that's the next thing. Successful business owners hire mentors. I was talking to this person the other day in Messenger because I didn't like the way that he filled out a form for our mentorship program. I didn't like the way that he was communicating, so I canceled the call with them, right? And it was interesting because he said I don't know if I should do a mentorship program because you should work with me for free, and then if I get the results and I'll pay you. I'm like, well, number one, we can do something like that, but you have to put down some kind of program deposit, right? Just to get access to my time. I'm not gonna work with someone for free. I mean, we have 40,000 people inside our Facebook group. 40,000 people would gladly work with me for free, right? There's nothing at stake. But at the same time, it's no, you got to have some kind of barometer for people who are serious, for people who are just dabblers. But the next thing you said was would you just blindly give your money away to someone without results or something? It's well, number one, you don't blindly give your money away to someone. Successful people would research, do your due diligence, watch content, get an understanding. What is kind of the person's track record? Does this person have a track record? Who has he helped? And then get an analysis of that. And then from there, you pay money to get good services. Same thing as with you. You're probably, if you're successful in a bookkeeping business or an accounting business, you're not going to do everything for free up front. You need to get some sort of deposit or some sort of thing that keeps someone inside the game. So they can't just disappear, or they can't just not really be committed to giving you the documents or giving you everything you need to get things done. But at the same time, it's that's a bad mentality. Business owners that are successful are investors. They invest in coaching, they invest in mentorship, they invest in advertising, they invest in equipment, they invest in their business to cause it to grow. Versus unsuccessful people, they hoard their money, right? The difference between a middle class person and an upper class person, and not to be upper class classism kind of person, I'm just saying in terms of the difference between that divide, it's how tightly does a person cling to their money. So, and I'm not even the richest person in the world by any means, but in a lot of cases, wealthier people, they don't hold the money quite as tight because we can always get more. I can always get more money. I can't get more time, right? So, what middle class and even poor people do is they will hold all their money. Not lower class, because lower class generally doesn't have a lot of money, right? So they have to save it. But middle class is they'll hoard their money. They have to make these huge financial decisions. It just takes time. We have to research. We have to do this, and then they spend the money so quickly on stuff that doesn't matter. They'll go into debt for a boat or an RV, and they're generally buying more experiential stuff. Versus wealthy people are generally investing. They're putting $1 to go and get $10 back over and over and over and over again. And that money keeps stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking, snowballing. And as a byproduct of that, we can buy whatever experience we want. You can get the boat, but I don't have to go into debt to buy a boat, right? I can buy a cool car. I don't have to go in debt to do it because I know that my money keeps going. And I can invest in trainings, conferences, vacation, stuff like that, because I know the money's coming back, right? So that's the next thing you have to kind of get into, and understanding that with a business, you are starting to move over into that upper class, right? So in order to do that, you have to change the way you exist in order for your business income to rise to that new location of where you're going to be. If you don't, you're going to be that person where it's like you spend like 2 years in a business, you only made like $6,000, right? It's really a mindset game at that point, at least in the beginning. Awesome. Hopefully you learned something new. I got to get going. I got to go for a walk before my next call. But it was great speaking to you. Hopefully you learned something new. I really appreciate your time. Have a good rest of your day, and take it easy.